Hi, welcome to Neighborhood Game Club. I'm Frank Howley, and today we're going to be talking to my friend Leroy Patterson. He's a wrestler, video editor, former video game tester. We're going to be talking about wrestling games, Mortal Kombat, and best of all, virtual reality. Because you could already be living in the Matrix and not even know it. Because here on Neighborhood Game Club, we like to expand your mind and get extreme.
You think that's extreme? This is extreme.
Whoa! The zesty, hearty goodness of Chef Boyardee overstuffed beef ravioli satisfies the most extreme hunger.
This stuff definitely feeds the need.
Going? My name's Leroy Patterson. I'm 34 years old. I'm a daredevil, an idiot, video editor, and I love collecting game stuff.
Boom. You have a badass, like, giant wall shelf filled with consoles, games. This is the
Atari
Jaguar.
Powerful machine. Run Doom on it, that's all you need. The newer Sega Genesis that's got the X-Band, which was one of the early online gaming systems.
How did the Expanse? I've never heard of the Expanse. What's the Expanse?
Fucking love the Expanse. So the way it would work is you would, much like Sonic and Knuckles, you would plug it in the top, and then you connect it to the phone line, and you're able to play people multiplayer games around the world. And it was great unless like your mom picked up the phone and totally fucked over your game. You're like third quarter. Like me and a buddy played NHL 95 on that thing so much. Connection was decent. You had like character profiles, and you could join guilds, and it was like a very early but basic like Xbox Live kind of setup. I was one of the beta testers for Live.
What was it like beta testing Xbox Live?
I picked, I'm a huge Freddy Krueger fan, so Freddy Krueger was my username. And the very first interaction I had with another person on there is, it was like NASCAR, some racing game. And they're like, oh my god, it's Freddy Krueger. And then I was like, what the oh, I'm listening to people, this is great. Fuck it, I'm turning the car around and crashing into them. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing, Freddy? This is my 50 cent bulletproof Xbox.
Oh, how'd you get that?
I bought the sticker, another Xbox there, got a Neo Geo CD.
Hell yeah. I
put aside a couple of different like game genres, game themes that I really liked. So this one is all wrestling games. Superstars, WrestleMania the arcade game, which is awesome. Midway. Raw. These games that came out for the Super Nintendo and Genesis were just rough. Like this one was great though because for some reason you could unlock crazy moves where they like the 1-2-3 kid would jump from turnbuckle to turnbuckle and then do a 450 and stuff like which did not fit the theme of the game at all and I loved it. EC Dub, Attitude. These are piles of shit. Royal Rumble and WrestleMania arcade game on Genesis, Warzone, WCW, NWO Revenge, love Revenge. All the AKI games were just amazing as far as wrestling goes. WrestleMania 2000.
So how do you still have these complete in boxes? These from like when you were younger?
Yeah.
You kept them?
Yeah, these are all from like childhood. Revenge.
Scratch stuff.
Yeah. What happened to
you had a no rules barred match?
You get caught in a flood and you got to save the game still. WrestleMania Challenge, World Wrestling, OG Pro Wrestling, WCW World Championship Wrestling, Team Wrestling, In Your House for DOS, Nitro for PlayStation, SmackDown 2, which like after the third one, SmackDown got great for like 3 games.
Yep.
And then went back to garbage. WCW versus the World, Rage in the Cage for Sega CD, Fire Pro Wrestling for Dreamcast.
This is like the Royal Rumble of wrestling games. The opponents keep coming into the ring.
SmackDown Raw, first one. This one was amazing.
Yes, that's one of my
Here Comes the Pain was so good. SmackDown Raw 2006, 2007, Steel Cage Challenge for Game Gear.
Oh my god.
It's kind of wrestling. WrestleMania 21 kind of tried to do its own thing, didn't care for it. Best of the Backyard Wrestling. So I love these games so much. I'm on the cover of Best of Backyard Wrestling Volume 2. They told me, like, I got in contact with the dude who's producing it, and he had said that if they made a third one, I'd be in it as a playable character. I was like, oh my god, that's one of my life goals. Legends of WrestleMania was a ton of fun.
Oh, I played that
All Stars is one of the best wrestling games out there.
Arcade-y.
Rumble Roses, Hulk Hogan's main event, which it's a Kinect game. You start off Backyard Wrestling, and like you hit them with chairs, and like it was cheesy, but it was fun. And then that's it for what I have here. I have more in storage. But yeah, you're gonna have to clean this mess. I love Marvel games.
Yeah.
I really wish they'd do more. They haven't really done much for the cinematic universe.
What's your favorite Spider-Man game?
Spider-Man 2.
My god. That's one of the best open world games of all time.
Web of Shadows was really good too.
That one open world too?
It was open world. It was just like part 2, but it was just a bigger story and there's a little bit more to it. But like 2 was perfect as far as just the web swinging was great. Combat was awesome. Tons of great outdoor stuff. Like the last 3 or 4 they've done, like Shattered Dimensions, they're okay, but it's all like I don't want to be Spider-Man in a building. X-Men Origins Wolverine was so good compared to the dog shit movie. I love the Marvel Capcom series. It's so good. And all the like X-Men fighting games and then also older stuff like X-Men, Punisher.
I like the X-Men arcade game.
Yeah. Oh my god, that one's so good. I played that one on the MAME cabinet a lot.
Mortal Kombat collection here. Is that Mortal Kombat for Super Nintendo complete in box? Oh, that's sick as hell.
Yeah, so there's the
Didn't they have like a holiday, Mortal Kombat Tuesday or something?
It was Mortal Monday. It's Mortal Monday. It was when we all got into the streets and just started screaming Mortal Kombat. Yes. But this is so I bought it on Genesis when it first came out.
You gotta have the blood.
Yeah, I gotta have the blood. Like fuck that censored stuff. Sub-Zero.
Apologies. Mortal Kombat 2 is my favorite.
Yeah, 2 and Ultimate 3.
And then you got all your rhythm games.
Yeah, so I worked on Band Hero, and then I worked on Guitar Hero 5, which is probably, other than Metallica, like my favorite in the series. So I fell into the trap that was Disney Infinity. Huge fan. I loved the figures. They all have that kind of like Pixar style to them. It's a total scam. It's a total money sink because you buy one and then you want them all.
It's canceled now, right?
Yes, they canceled it. So my wallet is happy, but I'm crushed emotionally. But I have all of them except for 12. So that there, and there's one over there. That is for the HTC Vive. In my opinion, the best VR system out right now. I have over 200 games. It's everything I've ever wanted. Like, I'll get into it more later, but it's virtual reality to me is so amazing because I have fun doing this and being engaged, but to be able to like, fuck you, like that's what I want. I want to live it. I want to, like, whenever I play a game and there's a create a character, I make me because I want to be in the fucking game. And now I'm in the game. It's like Nick Arcade where you're, like I always wanted to do that as a kid, and now like I just do it in my room whenever the hell I want. So here's some Sega Master System stuff. After like this one was one that I had from like when I was a kid. These are. A lot of these are ones that I had
all the
Sega
stuff in your Virtua Fighter.
Yeah, Altered Beast, which I loved. It's so good. The reason I got a Saturn was for Fighters Mega Mix. Like, just, like, you could be a car and fight people using a car. Like the Daytona USA car. It was so much fun. And then Fighting Viper series was one I was really into. Comic Zone. I fucking loved that game growing up. One of the best games ever made. Shaq Fu. Sega CD Crisscross. Make your own music video.
So you got started with video editing?
Yeah, start on my Sega CD.
There was a Toxic Avenger video game?
Yeah, it was based on the cartoon Toxic Crusaders. Funny story about the Troma project. So I was working at Troma at the time that came out, and they brought us to E3 that year. It was the first time at E3. I'm like, this is amazing. And they were like, yeah, they knew I was a pro wrestler, and they're like, can you dress up as Toxie, have a friend dress up as Sergeant Kabuki Man, and put on a wrestling match? They're like, it's not going to be anything fancy. We'll have like, mattresses down, build like a little makeshift wrestling ring. And I was like, great, I'd love it. I'm so in. And then we got there and they're like, yeah, we don't have anything for the ring. Can you just do it on the concrete? And I was like, I guess so. We have these like goofy ass like costumes on and like barely see, barely move. And I grabbed him and I called for a swinging neck breaker. And he misheard me and thought it was like a stalling neck breaker. We both went and I ended up like landing on his head and like, I think I gave him a concussion. While I was there, though, I got a copy of the Troma Project, and back then it was like the old school Fallout. Yeah. I loved it. I played it recently. It's terrible. Burger King put out a series of games. There was Sneak King, there was Pocket Bike Racer, and Big Bumpin'. Pocket Bike Racer, Big Bumpin' can go fuck themselves because it is all about Sneak King. It is the game where you're the Burger King mascot and you sneak around and give people food. I like the game. The game's fun enough. And so I've got 120 or so. They're $1, and one day they might be worth $2. I just doubled my investment.
Well, there you go. We're gonna go deep in depth about wrestling, virtual reality, and of course, Sneak King. We're gonna know all the secrets.
All of them.
Is it gonna be extreme?
I'm throwing everything on the table, and then we're breaking the table.
Welcome to Neighborhood Game Club, the podcast portion. I'm here with Leroy Patterson. No mercy for Leroy as you go by. There's a lot I want to talk about. You went through a lot in your collection. I guess real fast, what is No Mercy?
No Mercy Video is a collection of people such as myself who would be quite willing to throw themselves into very dangerous situations and get it on film in a viral video type setting. mainly to sell to other television shows or programs or websites that were interested in watching people hurt themselves.
So essentially, not to disparage it, but essentially like a Jackass crew.
Jackass, CKY, yeah.
Back when that was.
I mean, we were doing it before like before those got popular.
Yeah.
But they were definitely. What was nice about Jackass and CKY was it. We were filming that stuff anyway, and it gave us hope that there was a market for this. There was a purpose for us doing all this really stupid shit on film. And it really originated from the backyard wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
Too. Like, we started in 96, and just, we were on, like, MTV True Life. I'm a backyard wrestler. The Best of Backyard Wrestling series. Like, we got a ton of press from it. And then the cops started cracking down, and we were like, well, we want to do... We need that adrenaline fix, and we need that cool footage to do stuff with. And then the Jackass thing kind of, like, we're like, hey, just... Let's wrap barbed wire around this fan and jump head first into it. And like, okay. And then, it kind of snowballed from there.
So you were going, so there's like No Mercy, there's wrestling I want to talk about. And then you've also appeared like through a few Mega 64 things.
Yeah.
Let's just start at the all beginning. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Downey, California.
So here in Southern California.
Born and raised.
What is your earliest video game like history? What was like the first system you had you really got into?
I remember being at a friend's house, and they had an Atari 2600. And I could have swore he was playing, like, Jaws or something like that on Diver or something. And I was just blown away, because oh my god, you're controlling the thing that's on the TV.
This is like mid-80s?
Yeah. It's fairly early, mid-80s, yeah. And so I was blown away by it, and then I started going to arcades. I loved arcades. And then I believe it was my 10th birthday, I got a Nintendo.
Hell yeah.
And that was it. Like, I was hooked for life. That's it. That's where I'm going. And, just arcades and Nintendo. Yeah,
we'll talk about more arcades. Like, so, like, with me, arcades' earliest memories, like, seeing Mortal Kombat 2 in the arcade.
Yeah,
and, like,
oh my god.
Like, barely crawling, looking over it. But it's like, you have experience, it's an oral history show. I'm talking to someone who lives through 80s arcade history. Oh my gosh, please tell me about that experience.
It was cool. Like, you had your older... late 70s games, the old stuff, that was still kind of prevalent. Yeah. But then you started seeing stuff like Off-Road, which was one of my favorite, like with the wheel and stuff, that one was great. And then you started seeing stuff like Lethal Enforcers, when it started getting in the 90s, just so good. And then, like, it was great because you would go, you'd get $20 and your night was set. Yeah. Like, there was two that I would go to. There was one that was in the mall, and it was, like, super brightly lit, and it had all the newest shit, and it was okay, it was fine. But then there was this one, it was, like, dingy as fuck. It was, like, it was super dark. The only glow was from, like, the glow of the screens. They had, like, skee-ball. It was amazing. Like, I loved that place so much. That was my home for so many weekends. And, like, like, Street Fighter 2, played that a lot. Played a lot of Mortal Kombat. And then I remember when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, and I was just like, there's a new one! Because there's no internet, there's no anything. I had no clue until you see it there.
Even, like, with stores, because I didn't really follow video game magazines till, like, early 2000s. You know, like, you didn't really pay attention to that shit, but, like, going to the arcades, that's how you'd find out there'd be new games.
Yeah, they would have the big marquee, brand new game, like, and you're like, oh, shit!
Like, even the first time I saw Marvel vs. Capcom 2, it's like, what? Like, that blew my head. What was... because I talked a lot with Heather about Street Fighter, but I know you're a Mortal Kombat dude.
Right.
What was, like, your first experience seeing Mortal Kombat? Because you also grew up on, like, horror movies. So it's like, here was this weird mishmash of video games and that kind of, like, cheesy Hollywood, slasher shit in a video game.
My mom worked at a video store, so I would just get a steady stream of, like, horror movies all the time, because she was like, here, this one's great. Evil Dead 2, here you go, son. Quick story, they called me into the room once. They're like, hey, watch what we're watching. And it was like some sexual kind of scene. I'm like, what are you guys making me watch? And then the girl goes down, and then or the guy's about to, like, go down on the girl, and then she's got a dick. And they were watching The Crying Game. And they're like, hey, Leroy, check this out. It's hilarious. So, that was my upbringing. And so, I was a huge horror movie fan, huge video game fan. And once it started to get more mature, because, up till then it was like Penguin Land and, like, the cheesiest little kid stuff, and you'd get, like, Splatterhouse every now and then, and that was great. But with Mortal Kombat, because they were digitized as actors, it was so much more real.
It was, like, photorealistic, for its time,
You had stuff like Time Killers and, like, stuff like that that were brutally violent, but they were, sprites. They were drawn. And so it took the sting away. But because they were real people and you're, like, ripping your head off, their heads off and stuff. And it was amazing. I was just like, holy shit, he pulled the spinal column out of that guy. It's great. And so I was just a huge Mortal Kombat fan. And they just kept getting bigger and better until they went 3D, and then it took a good, like...
my local pizza place, it was funny, because I grew up on, like, Mortal Kombat 2. I had my earliest video game memory was playing Mortal Kombat 2 on Super Nintendo. And so I love that. But then I remember going to it's like reverse for me. I remember going to like the local pizza place and they had Mortal Kombat 1. And I was like, whoa, what is this? You know, different. And then you started seeing more and more games.
And then Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
Oh, there you go. You have, let me pull this out. Is it attached to the wall? Or?
No, it's not.
Okay. Here, do you want to quickly talk about this?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Street Fighter, the movie, the game. I thought it was a big fucking joke when it came out in the theater, or when it came out in the arcade I went to. It was, they took all the actors from the terrible movie and did it Mortal Kombat style. But the history behind this game is so deep and palpable, because like they had like 2 weeks or like a week or so to film everybody. Van Damme, they had like 20 minutes. The story's online from the creators, but it was such a neat story.
What studio made this game?
It was put out by
Acclaim,
Capcom. Well, Acclaim, I believe, did the console versions.
Oh, okay.
But Capcom was like the original publisher.
Oh no, I think Seth Killian, he made this game.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And what's like, it's awesome. Like it's the super over the top Street Fighter.
First of all, it is like the vertical PlayStation box.
Yeah, those are great. Such a trip, because it felt wrong. Like it felt like it belonged to some other world, because I was so used to Street Fighter 2, which I played a great deal and was a huge fan of, but to see live actors doing the exact same things that they were doing in the game was just a trip. And it's Van Damme as like Guile and stuff, and there's so many
I like
secrets.
that the video game guide has like quotes from the movie. So in the guide, I don't know if you can barely see it, but it has like Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile quoting the famous line, "I will protect the honor of the Allied forces." Mm-hmm. Classic Guile quote.
You think of Guile, you think of that line.
And Captain Sawada, what the fuck is Captain Sawada? Is that
So he was like an extra in the back. Like they really got everybody who was in that movie. They even got characters like Akuma who weren't in the movie.
Carlos Blanca.
And it's a trip. But when I quit Square Enix, I used a line that Guile says. So he's like, "I'm not getting in that boat. I'm going up that river and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is going to feel it."
So Street Fighter came out, beautiful pixel graphics. Mortal Kombat came out, we got human actors in the game, and then Street Fighter did their version of it, which no one talks about. It's never been ported or remastered.
Oh, it's so good.
Weird ass game. Yeah, in the early '90s, there was all these. Like Midway did it the most of digitizing actors in it.
There's one that I loved called Tattoo Assassins.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it was only available through emulator to me. I never had to play it in the arcade.
Was that the game that was never actually fully released?
Right.
The ROM got out.
It was like produced by Bob Gale from Back to the Future, so the DeLorean's in it.
Nice.
But like they were like, well, Mortal Kombat is known for the fatalities. Let's do 300 fatalities. Yeah. 290 of which have nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
There's a Burger Time one where like all the patties and shit crush the guy. But the game was about these assassins that have tattoos that come to life and fight. One of them is a bird that flies out and shits on the guy and he melts and he dies.
I know there's another one where like I think a character can fart as like the attack. It's just really cool. One thing I love with Mortal Kombat was like the moral panic of video games. You don't have that today. Nowadays, like no one really cared. Like nowadays, people are worried about like bathrooms and all that. You know, like video games aren't the target anymore. But like growing up in the 90s, like with shit like Doom and Mortal Kombat, video games were the subject of moral panics. And if you played these video games, you would be the next shooter.
Oh yeah.
And that doesn't exist anymore. But like your parents were, showed you horror movies, so you didn't experience this. But did you have any friends who like you couldn't play Mortal Kombat with or anything like that?
Well, like I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. Yeah. But they're like, I just don't tell my mom.
Yeah.
This. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or like if they're coming over to like, how's everything here? Oh, it's good. Just hide all the Mortal Kombat stuff. Like. But yeah, I mean, but most of my friends, their parents were cool too, and it was just it was never a big deal, and I think that's very important to be like, yo, this is just a game. It's not, not to do this stuff, or not that I can run around as a 12-year-old with someone's head off.
I remember like the most recent example, it's still over a decade old, but like when State of Emergency came out, the Rockstar game where you could tear people's arms off in riots, there was a big sticker on the front like, warning, do not sell under minors.
Well, I think part of the big deal was they made it an advertising.
Yeah, that was the thing too.
Like rap CDs, metal CDs had to have like parental advisory, explicit lyrics, and that became fucking cool. Like I had a T-shirt that said parental advisory. It made it cool.
I'm gonna put warning parental advisory in the corner of the thumbnail of this video so people know. Make sure your parents, get your
parents' permission.
This video will not be on sale at Walmart.
No,
because of it. But yeah, nowadays, like, no one cares. Mm-hmm. You know, people are uploading Minecraft sex videos on YouTube.
I played this game called Dead by Daylight all the time, where you're a serial killer, you're a slasher. Michael Myers is in the game, and your sole job is to hunt down people and brutally fucking murder them and shove them on a meat hook so a demon can send them to wherever. Like, it's fucking brutal, and it's just like, well, whatever.
Yeah, it's on the Steam store.
Like, the last thing I remember getting any kind of buzz was Hatred, the game where
that was something like, so that game, there was so much controversy of it coming out. So Hatred, if you guys don't know, it's this Polish developed game where it's like a shooting spree simulator where you're just this dark gothic kid in a trench coat.
I'm sick of all the dregs of society and the sucker moms. I'm gonna shoot them all. And
it's a black and white isometric game where you just go around shooting people, you can execute people. There was so much controversy because this was coming out like right on like when like Gamergate was happening and like Anita Sarkeesian stuff. So this was everyone going like, yeah, Hatred is gonna fight back. Came out, no one cared about it.
It's an okay. I bought it. You bought it just for the hype. I was just like, well, okay, and I was like, oh, it's okay.
Have you killed anybody?
Well, that's step one.
Yeah, but I mean,
kill
like,
everyone.
But in real life,
oh no, well, not that I'd publicly admit. No, I have not killed anyone.
Yeah, and I just remember like, because there was a controversy too, because Steam like pulled their page down, but then Gabe Newell was like, no, this is okay. Yeah. All this controversy, the game came out, and then that was it. And like,
it's. I mean, there's not much to. I mean, you are just running around a neighborhood and a police department shooting people, and it's. Because if there was a deep story to it and like it justifies why he's doing it, then I'd be like, ooh, that's kind of but because it's just like, well, we're going to shoot all these people. You have no attachment to anybody, just shoot them all for no reason, no real moral ambiguity to it. Like,
I'm curious because I'm sure the studio made its money because there's enough people buying the game, but it's like I wonder if like they're gonna make another game or what's going, you know.
It would have to be something like you know, you steal babies from the hospital to shove in a lawnmower and make it real.
Make it realistic with story.
Really fucked up.
Poland's going through like a video game renaissance. Like there's so many games coming out of Poland. I mean, The Witcher was the leading one, and then you got Witcher 3 and Hatred, two leading
powerhouses.
I mean, you're based in LA. You do a lot in terms of the world of show business. Kind of, I guess. I mean, you've done video editing. This is like there's so many threads to Leroy I want to like track down. Tell me about like how'd you get into video editing? I mean, you made your own stunt videos through No Mercy. How'd you get into like professional video editing? So
it was something I always enjoyed, and I always had it in my back pocket as a career, just in case I got horribly injured and like bound to a wheelchair. Then I could still video edit and be okay, hopefully, as long as the eyes and arms still work. And so that was always just kind of like, well, and it was self-serving. I can edit all our stunt footage, edit all the crazy stuff we were doing. And then I started working at Full Moon Features as an intern.
What are some of their most notable films?
They did Puppet Master, Demonic Toys, Subspecies, Killjoy, Evil Bong, which I gave a copy to Derek, and on one of the last neighborhood game, he said some idiot gave it to him, and he was throwing it away. Thanks, man. No hard feelings. They do a lot of like low budget horror. But growing up, they were B, but they were like an upper B, you know, like the Puppet Master series, Bad Channels, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. They did all of these as a kid. I had their posters all over the walls. My mom worked at the video store, so I'd get like free VHS screener copies of all their stuff. Like I was a huge fan, and so I did. I'm sure we'll talk about this in a minute, but I did 10 years in the game testing world, and I fucking hated it. And I'm like, I'm out. I need to go. I need to do something else. Saw that they were doing internships, got in, did that for like 2 months, and then got moved into the shipping room. Yeah. So I did a year in the shipping room, and while I was there, I was like, so you guys know I'm a video editor, I can do it. And it like just kept poking and prodding, and finally they're like, we need a Puppet Master promo overnight. You know, it has to encompass the last 9 years, you know, the last 9 films of the series. It needs to be this big epic thing for a Kickstarter. We need it tomorrow. And I was like, I'll do it. And then like, I didn't go to sleep that night, finished it off, and gave it to him, and the boss, Charles Band, was like, this is so fucking cool. Can I have a copy on DVD right now so I can take it to an investor meeting? And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then shortly, then they kept like throwing more stuff my way, and I was cutting trailers and cutting other fun stuff. And then they were like, "Fuck it, you're an editor full time now."
Yeah, you gotta answer the call.
And then I was there for 3 years, and then money started running low, and there was issues. And then so I was like, I want to keep editing. I love it. So I got the gig at Fox ADHD where I met Heather and all them, and then and that's how I got into the like Hollywood comedy scene, just, you know, through her and Eric Moneypenny. Yeah. And yeah, it was like, I loved working at Fox ADHD, just making, I edited and did the sound mixing and the recording of all the the YouTube stuff that Heather and Eric wrote, and it was so much fun. Like I had every day, I was a fan of the series beforehand, so it was so, I strive to work for things that I really like.
Totally. Yeah, Sunday is cool because, like, yeah, you're a fan of this Full Moon company, you got in, and you answer this random call, and then boom, now you keep going.
Yeah, you fight hard to get that chance, and once you get it, you fucking hold on.
Even, like, one of my main jobs, which I love, is I just finished, the last, 2 weeks I was working at the San Diego Asian Film Festival. I do video production, and I teach film for this organization in San Diego, and the way I got this job is I was a big fan of this film festival. And I was friends with people there, and they're saying hey, every once in a while we need people in your field. So I just bookmarked their jobs page every month. I would refresh. Finally did it, and now I worked this cool job.
Yeah, you worked your ass off, and you focused on something you really liked, and now you're doing it. That's you got to just. So when I went to Fox, they were like, you know how to composite animation, right? I'm like, yeah, of course. And you know Pro Tools, right? Oh, I was like, oh yeah. No, I knew none of it. And I learned that I got the job, and then I had a weekend. Yep. And so that weekend I crammed. I'd done live action compositing, but never animation. And then so I just taught myself how to do it. And then Pro Tools, I let's record this. God, I hope this works. And the first few times, I was just fucking scared shitless that it didn't record. But I figured it out fairly quickly. And then I was there till they closed. So.
That's cool. And then for context, Fox ADHD was a YouTube channel. I guess I don't even know. Multimedia new media network. Sponsored by Fox that Leroy worked at, Heather worked at. You said you worked for Troma briefly? Yeah,
I worked for Troma for it was right around September 11th, 2001.
Oh, nice.
Because Lloyd Kaufman sent an email the next morning saying, "Don't worry, we're okay. They were aiming for our building, what they missed." And I've already signed. John was one of the guys who worked in the office. He's like, "I've already signed John up to work to join the military. He flies up first thing tomorrow morning. Everyone say goodbye to John." So it was a really neat place to work. They paid me in VHS tapes and DVDs.
Did you work here in LA or were you in New York? Okay.
Yeah, they had an LA office because they were just wrapping up Troma's Edge TV, which is their TV series in the UK. It was on Channel 4 in the UK.
When did Toxie 4 come out?
Toxie 4 came out... No, it was I think it was 2000. It was 2000. It was right around the time I started working because I went to some big screening for it.
It's weird because okay, so, and again for the context, Troma is a B-level, B-minus level horror... I don't even know, this media empire founded by Lloyd Kaufman, this super slimy but great.
He's an amazing man. Yeah. He doesn't lie about what's going to happen. Yeah. He's you're going to eat cheese sandwiches and you're sleeping on the fucking floor. And you're okay. Yeah. And we're making a movie, so I don't care.
He's a super DIY filmmaker who's been making films super no budget since the 70s.
And that's why he gets to keep making those movies because he makes it. And it's a great... You don't go there to make a career. You go there to get your start.
Yeah, and James Gunn got his start there.
I did a movie called Tales from the Crapper.
Oh, shit. We watched... My friends and I watched some of that.
It was so much fun to film, so I don't care. But Julie Strain was there, Trey Parker, Eli Roth.
Oh, shit.
He was there. He was super cool. Yeah. I'm just hanging out with all these people who were on the verge of being amazing. And I haven't gotten there yet, but it was so I loved working on those sets. I loved working with Troma. But now I work for Giphy.
Yeah,
I make animated GIFs for a living.
Still in LA, but what is under the threat of movies? Video games has taken over. How did you get into video games? So you play tested for all these different companies. What is your path working in the video game world?
I hated it. So I worked for GameStop. I worked for Blockbuster. Okay. I was we're part of the industry too. Yep. And then it was just no, I want to really be part of it. I love video games. I want to make those. And then so THQ was hiring, and then there were certain companies that did game testing that if you went through them first, then you can get a job anywhere. As far as game testing goes, because they train you. They do a week or two of training, and if you have THQ on your resume, then they go, oh fuck yeah, you're in, because it has game testing has a super high turnover rate.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Because they treat you like garbage, and you hate it, and you want to be dead the entire time.
Well, also your job as a game tester is to tell programmers they fucked up.
Yeah, and then check the so you would find a bug in the game, do whatever you can to break it, and then and some were walk into a room, game crashes, it's an A bug, 100% repro rate, blah blah blah.
Okay, so can you tell me what the terminology? Because I've read and studied this stuff a bit, but it's there's priorities, right? Can you just tell me
sure. Quick overview.
Yeah.
So they rate it on a letter scale. So A bug is a crash.
Yeah.
Something to do with legal.
Where it's the game cannot ship if this shit is in here. Okay.
If that's in there. B's are really rare crashes, big huge graphical issues. Yeah. Like stuff that if it ships, as long as there's not a lot of them, it's okay. But, you know, try not to have them in there.
Also, this is your play testing before they get patch games.
Yeah. I started when it was, like, GameCube had just come out, PlayStation 2, I did a bunch of that. Yeah. Xbox, the original, I did a bunch of that. So, yeah, it was like, from there, and then I did it for, like, 10 years.
Wow.
I hated it. I wanted to be dead every day. So yeah, so it's, and then, you know, C is just like, oh, this thing fucks up sometimes. Don't know why. And then D's are like, you wrote that, you wasted time. Because they would give you quotas. Like different places had different systems, but like THQ was like, you had to do like 15 bugs a day.
You had to find bugs.
You had to find bugs, 15 a day, and write them out. And then if they were a duplicate of something else someone else had written, then it doesn't count.
What state are you, like, playtesting the games? Are they almost finished? Are they quote-unquote finished? Are they still, like, halfway through? Do they give you a section of it to test? How does...
It depends on when you jump into a game. Like, if you're part of the first team that gets put on a game, it's usually, like, a kind of playable build. Maybe 1 or 2 levels work. I mean, they don't want to give you anything that's way broken because they know what they have to fix.
Yeah, totally.
But it's... Usually you'll have at least like half the levels played. It just depends on the game. Like Guitar Hero, because it's essentially the same game over and over and over, you're just testing either the new features or sometimes a note track might be off or something. But like for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. But like in big open world games where you can like run around, you have to test like every corner to make sure you can't fall through. Yeah. You have to test the geography. You have to test fucking everything.
What was like probably? I mean, there's a lot. This is so fascinating. What is probably like the shittiest game you had to spend and like over and over and over and over again?
So because the gaming gods hated me, every place that I worked at, 90% of the time I'd get thrown on little kid games.
Yeah.
So THQ, I did SpongeBob SquarePants and the Flying Dutchman.
Oh, nice.
Which was, I hated it.
You had to play out. You got for 4 months. You had to play.
Well, yeah. Well, what killed me was across the hall they're testing SmackDown. You know, SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. And then and so I one time I found one of the testers over there who hated wrestling, loved SpongeBob. So I went to the leads and I was like, you know, I had a question to offer. I'm a professional wrestler. I went to wrestling school. I have an insight that no one else here has. This guy loves SpongeBob. Hates wrestling.
Yep.
I hate SpongeBob. Anyway, we could switch. And they're like, no. I was like, great. See you guys later.
And like what? I don't even know why they would. Why?
I mean, you want people with different outlooks on it.
And that way, I mean,
you know, a guy who's skilled in wrestling games won't do things the way someone who's terrible and hates them does it. So they want to cover all bases, which I get. But it was still, like, it sucked. And because I'd peek in, like, I got one of my best friends a job there, too. And he, like, was testing on the game, on SmackDown. And I was like, motherfucker. And he's like, dude, come here, check this out. And he shows me, like, the Spider-Man intro. Yeah. I was like, oh,
but
and then like, are you ready, kids?
But does it work out? Because say if you play tested SmackDown for 4 months, you wouldn't want to play the game once it's out, right?
I mean, yeah, but you'd also get your mark on it, you know? I would rather have my name in those credits than
SpongeBob Flying Dutchman. Is your name in the credits?
Yeah, I've got a ton of games where my name's in there.
What are some random credits you got?
FILA World Tour Tennis, Monsters Inc. Scream Arena.
Oh wow.
That's all THQ stuff. Duke Nukem Forever. I worked
on
that. I fucking love that game. It got shit on so much, and I loved it. Okay. I thought it was so good. I get the hate, but I thought it was great. Guitar Hero 5, Band Hero. Medal of Honor Rising Sun, which sucked. Spec Ops The Line, which is
shit, that's a good game.
When I played it, it was terrible. They had like none of the story in there. Like the cover-based system sucked. Like, I played it for, like, I worked on it for, like, 2 months.
So, that's fascinating.
And then I left, and then, like, 7 months later, it came out. I was like...
You played Spec Ops before the story shit was in there?
Yeah.
When it was just...
They had basic elements of the story in there. There was, like, where you gotta choose which guy to shoot. Like, that kind of stuff was loosely in there, but, like, I was like, this game is gonna get trashed so hard. This thing is terrible. And then I was working on that when I left the company. And then it came out 7 months later, and it's got, like, best game of the year and all these fucking awards. I'm like... What the fuck? I still haven't gone back because I don't want to.
What are some of like the gnarliest bugs you'd encounter in games where it's like, how the fuck is this in here? Like that people would miss or just...
Yeah, my favorite one is in SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay, you know a lot about this.
Where one of the whole aspects of that game is you would change costumes and like you would have the net costume when you catch butterflies or the superhero costume. There's like 5 or 6 different costumes. If you went in and it was like superhero costume, net. One of the other one, it was a combo of like 5 or 6 different costumes. On the 7th one, when you came out, he'd be all gross and like distorted like the Thing, and it was 100% repro ray, but only that combination. And it was the weird, like, no one knew why it happened, but just seeing SpongeBob while running was fucking awesome. It was so funny, but like...
What was your method to finding... Like, this is... Like, there's so many things I'm talking about, but I haven't talked about this yet, but what was your method of, like, finding bugs in video games? Did you have to, like... Yeah, try, like, all right, pull out this gun, shoot this bullet, and go to the next... Like, was it just try to break the game? Or, like, how do you play a game with intentionally trying to, like, search bugs?
Yeah, so, I mean, you know that... I mean, sometimes you hate, like I worked on Jimmy Neutron, and there was a level where it's like a snowboarding level downhill, but you can't die because for some reason now, they don't allow kids to die in games.
Yeah.
Which is something I fucking hate.
Yeah.
I was born on Mega Man 2 and, like, got my hard work ethic through Mega Man 2. And kids are like, oh, I died, oh, I'm starting again. But so you would hate yourself. So you would, like, learn how to sleep sitting up like this, and you'd have the controller in your hand. And then, like, you just, like, kind of sleep. And then, but because if someone walked behind you, they'd see your character snowboarding downhill and then fall into a pit and then come back up.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't know. And then you'd wake up and the game would be all fucked up. And you're like, oh shit, what'd I do? And then you record while you're playing. So you rewind the VHS tape and you're like, oh shit, it hit that wall and that wall caused a crash. Great. So, I mean, that's one way if you hate yourself. But, I mean, you might be, if it's a level-based game, you're assigned a level for like 2 days. Like, here, break it. And it's do everything you can possibly think of, like in, I don't know why I keep going back to SpongeBob. There was one, oh my god, I quit so hard and went to Australia for 3 months because of that game. But like there was this like castle kind of thing, and if you when you jump, you can only, there's no double jump, you just do one normal jump. But you go up to this castle, if you jump off the top of the castle, you can get a double jump before. And then they're like, oh shit, that's crazy, that's not supposed to be in the game. And then like, oh, it's gone now, cool. The one neat thing that I liked about the game is gone. But yeah, it's just, sometimes you're assigned, like, try everything with this costume. Try everything with it. I felt bad for the people that would, like, my buddy worked on Summoner 2. And games like that, like, you walk through a door and the game crashes and you're like, oh, fuck, it's because I picked up this book 6 hours ago. And you have to, the thing with game testing is you find a bug, but then you have to be able to reproduce it 100% and find out exactly why this is happening. So it's just constantly playing through, getting it, and then finally get 100%. You're like, thank God. And then you write it. THQ, they made us write everything by hand, which is garbage. It was fucking horrible. Like, it was, your hand would cramp because you're trying to, because they want super, and when you write a bug, it's super detailed.
Yeah.
So that anyone who's never played a video game could easily reproduce the bug. So it's, and place game inside game system. At the main screen, press start.
Oh, fuck.
Select this character with this name.
Was it like,
go down to
is it like salary or is it like, what's the pay for that?
I mean, it's hourly. Okay. Most of the time I'd get around like $9 or $10 an hour. And then... And
this was like 10 years ago, so...
Yeah, this was like 2000.
So like a few dollars above the minimum.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, for someone who had very little job experience, it was great. I was like, I'm making real adult money. Yeah. But you would, for the last 2-3 months of a project, depending on how big it was, you would be in crunch time. Yep. So like, it would start off like, okay, we're going to stay... Every company did it differently too, but like Neversoft would be like, you're about to go home and like 5 o'clock is like, and it's like 4:58. You're like, oh fuck, it's almost time. And then like they're like, all right, everyone, we're gonna stay a little late tonight. And then they go back to their desk and you're like, fuck, how long though? And then like 40 minutes later they come up, all right, we got 2 more hours and we're all going home. It was like you could not have a personal life. But like I quit EA because first it's now the Mark Bernadette building. But they used to have this fucking awesome complex. Like, it was so cool. And then they had, like, they used to hook it up. You'd have, like, free cereal, they had a soda, like, fountain. Yeah. Like they took good care of you for the most part because they knew how shitty it was. And, so we were great there. Everything was going well. Working on Medal of Honor. And then they moved just my team over to their brand new Playa del Rey building or Playa Vista, whatever it is. They moved us to that building. And we were the first team to go there, so it was like maybe bagels on Friday, and there was like a McDonald's within walking, but you get a half hour for lunch, so it's like McDonald's or nothing, or bring your lunch. And so we were just kind of the bastard children for a while, and it was hell. And then they were like, all right, gang, we're coming in Saturdays now. We'll be here. Luckily, we get to go home at 4 p.m. on Saturdays, so that's good for all of us. And then a week later, well, we got to stay till 2 a.m. every night, including Saturday. Sorry, guys. And then you're like, oh, okay. And then, like, I remember it distinctly. I'm, like, sitting there just hating life. And then he comes in, and he's like, all right, guys, Sundays are now mandatory, but we get to leave at 6 p.m.
That's
Thanks.
Crazy. So you're there every single day?
Yeah, I was like, got up, went over to my lead, and I was like, hey, I'm quitting.
Yep.
And he's like, what? No, you can't quit. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, all right, well, you're going to get blacklisted in the industry. And I was like, that's fine. And that was like, I worked at like 7 other game companies after that. So it didn't matter, it had no standing, but it was just like, I can't take this anymore. That's
crazy. I mean, I know crunch time is still a very serious issue in the industry that like, people know about it, but it's like, imagine being on the site, really working that. It's like, that is miserable.
And if it's a game you hate, you're like, at 2K, I worked for 2K Play for like 7 months. And it was all like Dora the Explorer on the DS. So you're like, 12 hours of this. Like, there was this one girl at THQ who like, she didn't take the job very seriously. And like she dotted all of her eyes with smiley faces. And they're like, all right, please turn in. And she's like, oh, we're turning these in? And he's like, yeah, turn in your test. She's like, okay. And she got like thrown on cell phones. And it was like old school cell phones. So it's like oh my God. But yeah, it's garbage. It's.
I want to see a documentary on video games. I mean, I know it's a little bit different now, but it's like, that sounds like you guys are lab rats.
Yeah. It was like, and it depends on where you work too, because at a developer, it's better. They take better care of you. Yeah. Like at Neversoft, they took really, they gave us food. They, took care of us as much as they could alongside all the testing that we had to do. It was fun though.
When you worked as a video game tester, would you come home when you had 2 hours in your free week and want to play video games, or no? Did it just kill video games for a decade?
No, you cannot play video games. Like, and it would kill me because I'd have all this money. Yep. And I would buy the games. Yeah. But they would just sit on the shelf because I'm like, I'm not playing a fucking video game. But I'm like, when I quit, I'm gonna have such a fucking Game Fest. It's gonna be great.
Did you have a Game Fest when you finally quit?
Oh, every time.
Game Fest.
Game Fest.
There you go.
Game Fest 2006, baby. Woo!
Wow, there you go. We went deep.
And then Square Enix, I work as a game tester, or a game master on...
What's a game master?
Final Fantasy 11. So we were like the online police.
The guild... You're a guild master. What do you call them? Whatever. I know what you're talking about. I had a friend who was that for Blizzard.
Oh, cool.
Her only complaint... She had 2 things she said. One, that the office smelled like In-N-Out. Because at Blizzard, everyone would just get In-N-Out here in Southern California. 2... is like just dealing with little kids. So my friend, she was a GM for World of Warcraft, and she said like, there's like one weekend where this kid kept bugging the GMs to get like a free mount. Mm-hmm. So they like the first ticket was, how do you get cat? And so 4 hours this kid's waiting, and finally she responds like, oh, you can buy a pet through any of these vendors at the auction house. Yeah. Sends the ticket, and then the new ticket, how do you get cat bigger? And he wanted to find out how to get a mount, but it's just like, I can't imagine dealing with that shit or guild drama. What was some of the drama you dealt with in Final Fantasy 11? Was there any drama, or was it just technical?
Yeah, there was the one time that so when you go into the game, you've got this badass red armor.
Oh, and you're physically in the game.
Yeah, but you're invisible.
Oh,
and you're like Agent Smith. Like, you can phase to wherever you're going.
Hell yeah.
You like, and you can teleport people around. Like, it's fucking awesome. Like, it was so...
Did you work from home, or did you have to go to the office?
I had to go to the office,
Interesting.
It's right by the freeway.
Okay, yeah.
It was a neat... A lot of cool people to work with and stuff. But, like, they... they have a queue of calls.
Yeah.
And there'd be stuff like, my favorite were when they were stuck somewhere in the world. And then so you would teleport, and they'd be like off the bridge in the water, and I'd roleplay it, and I'd be like, oh my God, are you okay? And they're like, yeah, please help. Yeah. I'm like, hold on, here, take this rope, and then teleport to blah, 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 blah. Blam, they teleport. I'm like, you okay? Do you need any further assistance? They're like, no. I'm like, all right, have a great time, namaste. And blam, just teleport out of there. So those were fun, but like every now and then you'd have to do like a trade scam, which I hated. Yeah. Hated. Because they would take it, because you were timed on your calls, like you had to be like, in and out of a call roughly within 5 minutes, hopefully solving the problem. Yeah. I was so like, I care about this player's experience, so if I take 10 minutes, I don't give a fuck, and that's why I eventually got let go. Yeah. Not to say that's why, but I mean, they're like, yeah, you could be faster. There's others who are faster. And I was like, but they're not solving anything. But yeah, the trade scam would be, someone is like, hey, you give me this item and I'm going to armor it for you and make it awesome and give you 500 gil or whatever. And they're like, okay. And then you do it, and then they run away. Yep. And you're like, oh, my stuff. And then, so we would have to go read the chat logs to make sure, because you could word stuff, right? To where like, give me your sword.
Oh, no.
And I'll do something cool. And then you're like, okay, and like, well, he did something. He ran away. He did something, like there was. But if he's like, I'm gonna give you this, in exchange for
Wow,
this,
like
and he
court of law.
doesn't.
This is crazy.
Yeah, you were a police detective, and you would go through the chat logs and read everything. And you're like, okay, and then make sure, and then you have to find those items. You can't just make new ones because that would like fuck over the economy. Yeah. You have to like find. So as long as he didn't sell it to someone else or throw it away or whatever, then you can get it from him, steal everything, throw him in jail for 48 hours or whatever. And
banning.
Get the stuff. It was so much fun. It's fucked up as it sounds, but like one of my favorite calls is some guy was like, this guy keeps saying the F word in the public area. Please take care of it.
My friends and I would get banned from WoW just for cursing and doing stupid stuff like that. Yeah,
those always made me laugh. Yeah. So I go down, I'm reading the chat logs, and they're like, the guy who made the call is like, come on, fucking pussy, say something, motherfucker, I'll fucking kill your family. And then like, the guy's like, dude, fuck off. He goes, oh, I'm telling the GM. And then like, I'd be like, oh. All right, and then so like I grab the guy who made the call, take him to jail, and you appear in front of him in jail. There was a jail level built. Bam! You appear. They appear in jail, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck? You got the wrong guy!" And I'm like, I read the chat logs.
Hell yeah! And
I've come to find that you are actually instigating it. Yep. You said a lot worse things for him. I'm going to be banning your account for 24 hours. And they're like, "Fuck you, GM! I'm going to kill myself!" And then you have to call the cops because anytime someone threatens their own life, you have to take it seriously. Yeah. And then, because there were some people, you would have to take it seriously and call, I'd send it to your lead. The lead would call their local police and had to do a wellness check. And then they're like, you called the fucking cops on me? Like people get pissed. But, I would save my favorite calls. You weren't supposed to. Yeah. I did. I have a couple of them still. One of them was like, I'd like to report someone doing witchcraft against me. I was like, in game? Yeah. Like it went, and they're like, yeah, they gave me a gypsy curse. They said that within 3 moons, it was like some weird thing, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't think this is an ability in game. They're like, no, they meant in real life, and I was like, oh, well, usually in voodoo, you have to have maybe an article of clothing or hair or some kind of remnant of the other person in order to be able to do any real damage to them. So unless they have that stuff, I think you're safe. And they're like, oh, thanks so much. Like, I was really worried.
Wow,
and I was like, oh. Or Apocalypse going, this guy said WTF to me. Do you know what that means? And I was like, well, it could mean, where's the French? Or, Like, I was like, it could mean anything. So. Yeah, that was fun.
Look at all these stories hidden in the world of video games. We got a game tester, a GM. Leroy, I didn't even mean to talk about any of this. This is deep shit coming out. A decade of video game nonsense. All right, now let's get into the wrestling shit. The real reason we're here. We got WrestleMania. Hey, my first gamer tag was WrestleManiac.
Nice. There you go. That's a strong one. Because you've got the like crazy insanity and you're like
wrestling. Different eras of wrestling. How did you get into wrestling? Just even like as a fan watching it, what was your first glimpse of like, hell yeah? Was it just everywhere in the 80s people loved wrestling?
Yeah, my parents were a huge fan. Yeah. My mom was a big fan. She loved The Ultimate Warrior, so I love The Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
Fucking love, like,
WWF.
So entertaining. Yeah. We watched that. They took me in a couple live shows.
Also, like, Hulk Hogan was in movies. Like, that shit was everywhere.
Yeah, Hogan was huge, but, like, I never liked Hogan. I was always, like, Ultimate Warrior or Jake the Snake. Like, huge Jake the Snake fan. And I've come out and saved him in wrestling matches now, which is fucking awesome. It's because he wrestles for Freak Show Wrestling.
Yeah, there you go.
And, but yeah, like, I was a huge fan of that era. And then I went to a live show. It was Ultimate Warrior versus Undertaker.
Which year was that?
Early 90s. I don't remember exactly. And I saw
the ropes.
I saw a staged moment in the match. Like, I was 100% convinced it was real. I fucking cried when Jake the Snake got killed by earthquake. Like, I went to the park and just sat on a bench and cried. Because, like, it was real to me, you know? And it was real, damn it.
And I remember, like, in, like, elementary school getting arguments with girls. Being like, no, wrestling's real.
Yeah. He really hit him in the face, you idiot. Yeah. And you go to the principal for throwing rocks at him. Yeah, but I went and saw a match, and from the angle we were at, I totally saw the miss. Yep. You know, and him still sell it. And I was just like, oh, my God, everyone was right. And I like, threw off wrestling for, like, 5 years. Yeah. And then finally, once they started getting a little bit more adult and just a tiny bit. Yeah. Woo! A friend showed me a tape of like Mark Merrow's debut, and I was like, "Fuck, this is great!" Yeah. Like, okay, I'm back in. And then so I do, and then I saw the Mankind Undertaker Hell in the Cell match. Like, big fan up until then, and then I saw that I was like, one, that was amazing. Two, I could do that.
Hell yeah!
Because the next night he was like beloved by all. Foley is God. It was this huge thing. And I was like, I can do this. So I could be a wrestler.
Have you read Mick Foley's memoir?
Yeah, I've read
it's so
3
good.
of his books. It's so good.
Yeah. I've only read the first 2. I think the Foley is good. There's Foley is whatever.
Yeah.
Have a Nice Day.
Hardcore Diaries, Have a Nice Day.
Yeah,
Foley's
those
good.
I read those 2 books. When I got into wrestling, I read like a lot of the books. I read the Stone Cold one, the Hardy Boys one. Oh shit, I totally forgot. I was gonna wear this for the show. I'll wear it right now. I have a Hardy. Did it snap?
Yes.
It snapped. Oh, it snapped. It snapped.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
That's from the Shop Zone?
Yeah, no, it's from the wrestling thing. I have the Hardy Boys necklace that I accidentally sat on, just broke. Okay. I thought this would last for years, but whatever, that's fine.
It's the death of a moment right now.
Yeah, I know. I was super into wrestling. I used to go to shows and buy merchandise. Team Extreme. Okay, so you said after seeing Mick Foley, you said you wanted to do wrestling. How did you get into wrestling?
So I was probably like, I don't know, probably like 15 or 16 at the time, I don't remember. And I around that time I had also been backyard wrestling. It was always just something kind of for fun. You know, a friend of mine was like, yo, we should start this. It's going to be huge. We should do this. And you got a backyard, let's do it. And then it built and built. And then finally...
Well, that's how Hardy Boys started.
Yeah. By the end, we would have, 100 fans, like legitimate people who would come every time watching our shows. I jumped off my neighbor's 2-story roof onto a guy through 2 tables, through 2 doors, like into the ground. Like we would, and it was always us trying to top each other. We had like running power bombs off the roof through flaming table. Like it was insane. Like we would just do the crazy shit. And, but it was never really something like I want to make a living off of this. It was just like, I'm having a great time. This is fun. We're making some cool shit. Let's keep going. And then I saw the Foley thing, and because I was like, well, I'm not some big buff bodybuilder type. I'm never gonna be. So why would I even try? Yeah. And then Foley does that, and I was like, I could do that. And it was an amazing act. I'm not saying that like, oh, that was nothing. I got this, kid. Yeah. But it was like, fuck, I think I could do that. Yeah. And I could be a wrestler like on the WWE. Why not? Yeah. And then so I was 17. I was trying to find the thing with backyard wrestling was most people were under 18. Wrestling schools would not take you at 18 unless you were 18. Yeah. And then they were kind of expensive. They were like $2,000 for like a year of training. So we wanted training. We wanted to go legit, but we just couldn't because we were too young. Finally found a school that was just starting up called the XPW Asylum. Mm-hmm. They were just starting, and
Extreme Pro
Wrestling, yeah, out in LA. And they would take me in at 17 as long as my parents signed a release form. Shit. I was like, fuck yeah. So I got in, I trained for a year, and then I was one of the only students to move on to the Fed, like right after. And I found out I got my first match against Vic Grimes, who was in ECW as one of Devaldi's, through their TV show. They had a TV show like on like public access and stuff, and like they invited me over to, the vice president of the company invited me over to come watch and stuff, and we're sitting there watching, and they're like, the final competitor in the TV title tournament, Leroy the Ring Crew guy. I was like, oh, is this a joke? Did you guys film the jokes? And they're like, no, will you really do it? I'm like, fuck yeah. And then so and then I started kind of my wrestling career from there, and then XPW was fun because I got to like make my debut in front of thousands of people at the Grand Olympic Auditorium. Like it was this big venue, like huge thing.
Was it one venue in LA or did they tour?
They toured. Okay, they would do Grand Olympic, and then we would do like the sports arena, and we would do up in Ventura. There was a theater out there. Yeah. Bakersfield. Before
like the WCW, ECW, WF. Before that, like what was the event called when the big like?
Oh, the Alliance feud.
Yeah.
Like
whenever that shit, like before the different competing things started collapsing and unifying. How many like different federations were there like in its peak?
I mean, there's still a ton out there.
It's all independent, but it's like I know there's ECW, WCW, WWF.
Those were the big 3. Yeah. And then we egotistically would say we were the 4th. Yeah. Because I mean we were pretty. I mean to the point where ECW, when they were hurting for money, flew everyone out to LA to do a show at the arena that we did shows at, and then we got into a fight with them in the parking lot. It was like New Jack, Mikey Whipwreck, real brawl, fist fighting. People got hurt in the parking. You could see it on WWE even posted it recently. It was during Heat Wave 99, Heat Wave 2000, something like that. Yeah, 2000, 2001. Where we bought the first 6 rows to that show, or the first 6 seats in the front row to that show. And during the main event, like pay-per-view, one of the guys stands up and fucking gets in someone's face, and then Dreamer comes over, and then like the entire ECW locker room clears out, starts brawling with all those guys. I was part of the ring crew there that was like, they got us free tickets to the show, and then wanted us to pass out flyers to everyone because we had a show the next weekend. So we were like, oh, this everyone who loves this will love us. Yeah. Pass out flyers. So we're sitting there getting ready to pass out flyers, and then one of the guys who wrestled Supreme, and he was with Christy Miss, and a couple other guys come running out of the building full speed, and then like Supreme grabs me, and he goes, "Get Christy to the car now!" And then so we grab her by the hand, we race off to her car, and while I was gone, which fucking, I'm so sad I was not in this fight, but like New Jack, who was on crutches, Mikey Whipwreck, I think it was one of the Baldies, and like 3 or 4 other people all came out and fought the ring crew. And it was like the ring crew, Supreme, and Homeless Jimmy were like the 3, or, were like the guys all involved. And like that night I went to their ECW hotel afterward. Yeah. And I was hanging out with Mikey Whipwreck and one of the Baldies, and we talked for just hours. And then I was like part of XPW, and they like almost got into a fight, and we're like, fuck it, I don't care. And we chatted, and then I was there to like do some kind of like revenge. And so Sandman comes by, and he saw the bar. We were sitting next to the bar, and he goes, "Hey, do you guys mind holding on to my beers real quick while I go to the bar and get a couple shots?" We're like, "Yeah, dude, go for it." Grabbed his beers and fucking ran out of the building and like gave it to everyone at XPW the next day. So it was neat. Like I felt like I didn't have to go start off, in front of like 12 people and kind of work my way up. I got to like work with all these really like Terry Funk.
Yeah, a taste of it. Yeah,
like I got some of Terry Funk's birthday cake, and like we hung out. like I just got all these really neat memories from it. But then it also killed, like the owner of the company was kind of a really mean guy. Yeah. And I would be working my ass off for free, and paying him to train, Yeah. And then while we were training, we would do ring crew and security and set up, ring and tear down and just everything. And he was just so mean to us. Like, "You fucking idiot, go get me my fucking notebook." And Jesus. Bring him his notebook. Yeah. "I wanted the red one, you son of a bitch, cock stain." And you're like, "All right, I'm sorry. I'm trying."
Hey, well, we just earned our explicit tag.
I remember the sticker right there.
That's gonna be the new thing on YouTube. Sure. Having explicit warning, making sure you're cool. You got your taste of XPW, so now tying it back to video games. What are your favorite wrestling video games? Let's start. I guess I'll break it down 3 eras. I guess so. "Quote unquote" classic, like Super Nintendo and earlier. For me, I really like the WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game made by Midway. Super arcadey, fast, ridiculous,
over the top.
Same,
moves.
Just like with Mortal Kombat, it's the photorealism stuff.
Undertaker shooting spirits and Shawn Michaels jumping across the ring for the Hurricane Rana. Like, I loved it.
It's straight up like Mortal Kombat. So good. It's weird. It's goofy.
There's like fatality in the In Your House series. They had like fatalities.
I also really like. There was Capcom did a bunch. There was Saturday Night Slam Masters, which was weird, but I like it because
Titan.
Yeah, it was. You could play as Mike Hager in it from Final Fight. But I like it because it was like this weird mix of like Street Fighter, because it was that side thing, but you could do wrestling moves, and it was Japanese, that cutesiness. But
and they had a nice like mix of like the American big huge buff guys and the quick luchador and Scorpion style. And they had they had a really nice mix of characters. Yeah, that game was Oni was crazy in that one.
Any other things from earlier, or even Nintendo era? Any other ones that you really like?
I love the original WrestleMania game. Yeah, it's barely a wrestling game, but just I remember. I got it. It was my mom was having for Nintendo. Yeah. My mom was having a baby shower for my little brother, and for some reason I got a present, and it was the WrestleMania game. I was like, "Oh my god!" And just like I played for that for hours, and it was terrible, but I loved it. Like just with Andre the Giant, like just like, oh my god, it was so good. And then the pro wrestling, just straight up pro wrestling with the Amazon and stuff. That one was fun. Any of the AKI games, like
so that's the N64 era. Yeah. It's weird because for me, I rented the WCW versus NWO, the first one, World Tour, just randomly at Blockbuster, rented it, put it in. I didn't even really like wrestling. I liked Street Fighter, so I liked fighting games. So whatever, but I played it in, and I just like, oh my god, this is like one of the most fun games I've ever played. And it's super weird as it versus the World Tour, because originally there was Virtual Pro Wrestling for Japanese for N64, and then this WC NWO one was like this weird hybrid. Yeah. So half the cast is WCW people, and then Japanese wrestlers.
And then AKI Man and other made-up people.
Yeah, but I love that game. Yeah. And then there's that, Revenge, WrestleMania, and then No Mercy, which was like the peak of it.
The best, yeah. Like, because the interaction with weapons and that, so that's a big thing for me, is like, the wrestling's got to be tight and fun and good, but if I can, like, pile drive someone onto the stairs or, like, slam someone onto a chair, like, I'm in. Like, you sold me.
Interacting with the thing. Yeah, and there's also Create a Wrestler with that.
I have one of the carts that I have of No Mercy has all the heels are horror movie villains.
Oh,
so like
shit.
Freddy, Jason, like
that you made yourself.
That I made. Yeah, I made over people's like Bradshaw as Jason and stuff like that. And then I had all the faces were all like survivors from those movies. So
my God.
like the Dream Warriors and stuff
Yeah.
were in there, and like I built everything so that it was like, you know, like the movies and stuff. It was just because I had like 3 copies of it.
Yeah.
So one of them was all horror movie people.
So those games are the best. And then SmackDown, I didn't play like the PlayStation eras, but my two favorites were Here Comes the Pain, the one with Brock Lesnar, and the one right before that was, I think it was Shut Your Mouth.
Yeah, Shut Your Mouth.
Those are like the 2 that I played a shitload.
Yeah.
And then I didn't play any of the further ones like SmackDown vs. Raw or anything.
Yeah, when it went SmackDown vs. Raw, it took a long time for it to get great again. And then it did, and then they immediately changed the game.
What was the last good one?
It was the one that came out, I think, in 2011. Because there was, like, WWE 12 was when they, like, revamped everything. Yeah. And they got rid of all the cool, like, weapon interaction and all the cool features that it had. Like, I mentioned to you off camera where I made Gary Coleman as a creator wrestler. And then, you know, my creator wrestlers were battling on top of a ladder. And there's a table set up on the outside. I ran and gave an RKO off the ladder. I went to the outside of the ring through the table. He landed throat first on the ropes and like backflipped over. Yeah. Like it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for the next game. And I remember I went to E3 that year and I was like, no, it's all gone. What did they do with it? You know, and it was just like they started over. Well, it's lame
because those games are super. Like, yeah, the AKI games like perfected it, and then SmackDown made it even more fun. But yeah, the backstage brawls, all the goofy stuff. Mm-hmm. But then now the newer ones, the WWE 2K games, are like simulation based. Yeah. And like they aren't fun.
They're okay, but they're just they don't capture that fun.
Yeah,
anymore, you know,
and what I really liked, because with those games, the Creator Wrestler, my friends and I would have like sleepovers. We would just stay up all night making stupid ass characters and then doing Royal Rumbles with them. Yeah. So you'd have 30 goofy made up characters run in and just. Oh, it was like hysterical. I love those. You
gotta follow it online. A buddy of mine does a thing called Well Fans Were Fucked. And he commentates and does this whole like separate wrestling federation using the newest games. And he streams it on. It's fucking hilarious. Well Fans Were Fucked. It's such a good series.
That's that's like the one thing I do like with these new ones is you can share the created wrestlers. Yeah. So it's like the customization is great. It's just not that fun to play.
Yeah, because before you used to have to like download character builds.
Go on GameFAQs and like put in the data points.
Like find like a Jeff Hardy, and then it was like shirt 12, muscles 13, and then it would take forever. And then you're like, oh yeah, I guess it looks kind of like him. But now you're like, ooh, cool, Freddy Krueger, and then he's like instantly in your game. And it looks great. Def Jam Vendetta.
Yeah, those are dope as hell.
Fuck, those were good.
I only played the first one. But
first one was amazing. The second one was good too, but that first one was so awesome.
Similar engine. I don't even know if it's the same engine or not, but so Backyard Wrestling. Yeah. That game is really fast. So you had experience backyard. What did you think of the backyard wrestling games?
I loved it because if you had the backyard wrestling mentality, like you get really good. Because it wasn't so much like a wrestling game where you're setting out, you're starting light, go pit, you know, like building matches and stuff. It was like, grab this fucking trash can, set it up here.
Yeah, it was very goofy.
Slam them into it, you know, like it was. It captured the feeling of it perfectly because there was a lot of backyard wrestlers who didn't have like psychology to their matches. It was just like, I'm gonna do this fucking sick pile driver powerbomb combination to you, and then you get right back up and hit me with your finisher. You know, and it was a lot of that like. All right, well, I'm going to hit you, and then I'm going to take 5 minutes setting up this table, and then light it on fire and slam you through it. And the game was that. And
also, ICP and NJWK were in it. Those are.
And then in the second one, they got a lot of the XPW guys.
Oh shit! Okay.
So like Supreme was in there, Vic Grimes, a bunch of other people that I wrestled with. And And I'm in footage in that second one, like Vic Grimes' like promo video that you can unlock by beating the game with him or something. I'm in it, like getting my ass kicked.
Hell yeah! Funny. What was your wrestling name?
Leroy the Ring Crew Guy. RCG.
What is officially Ring Crew? Is that just
So Ring Crew is anyone who like sets up the ring and tears it down and does security and just kind of like they're the grunts who put everything together.
Going with what wrestling you also do like stunt, I guess. Yeah. You most recently on top of your like day jobs, you've been doing. I guess your bit is called Human Tack Board.
Yeah.
Quickly talk about that.
So. I've been doing like dumb wrestling stuff just for a long time. Like I've done wrestling matches with thumbtacks and barbed wire and light tubes and fire and glass and whatever. Yeah. And so what had happened was a buddy of mine got asked to do America's Got Talent. I added the casting person that contacted him because we had done a show called Guinness World Records Gone Wild. Yeah. So they found him through that, and then I connected with her, and then she had seen photos of. I just done an improv show in Long Beach with the upperclassmen where me and my buddy Bob were blindfolded. There's mouse traps all over the floor, and we're barefoot, and we're trying to like reenact, do a scene or something, do an improv scene with like, blah, 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 and then, but she saw that photo and she's like, we need this on the America's Got Talent stage. What can you do? And I was like, I could jump into thumbtacks, strip down to my underwear, just as a joke, almost like, strip down to my underwear, jump into thumbtacks. She's like, good. Can you go out to New York next month? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, I was like, well, fuck it. They my wife flew out too, and it was just like I get to go be in, because I love doing reality shows.
Yeah.
I've done Wipeout, I've done Hole in the Wall, I've done one called Solitary where they locked us in a room and tortured us for fucking days. Like, I've done just a ton of just cheesy reality shows, and I was like, oh my god, this is like one of the biggest ones. And I get to do something really fucking stupid in my underwear, and this is gonna be great. I'll do it once, they'll say I'm disgusting, kick me off, we get a free trip to New York, I win. Like, that's how I saw it. And then, so yeah, I go and like, I didn't even know what I was like. I knew I was gonna slam myself on the back and the stomach, and then I was just gonna kind of freestyle after. And I was like, I got like a minute and a half, 2 minutes to do it. Like, so let's fucking do it. Sprayed the tacks on the floor, and then like did it to the song. And
was this do you have to audition first, or is this the first one just live? Is part of the program?
Yeah. So luckily, for the last couple reality shows I've done, I haven't had to audition.
Okay, that's cool.
I mean, sometimes I have to send in a video going, "Hey, my name's Leroy, and I'm a crazy guy." And,
yeah.
That kind of thing. But luckily, they've seen my previous work. And
like a reel, right?
Yeah. And they're like, they know what they're getting when they
cool.
get me. So I usually don't have to do that anymore. But yeah, I didn't have to audition. Like, my first time doing that act was on the America's Got Talent stage. And then, so, I did it, and like, back first, stomach first, I started punching him and headbutting him. And the crowd was just like grossed out, and I'm like, dude, they're gonna rip on me so hard with valid points, and then I'm out of here. Then they're kicking me off, and everyone's gonna look at me disgustingly backstage. And Howard, I was like, I think Howard Stern will like it. He's into that kind of shock style. He'll like it. Maybe Howie Mandel will like it, but Mel B and Heidi Klum, I hate it. Yeah, so I'm not moving forward. You need 3 yeses to move forward. Not moving forward. Howard Stern was like, that was amazing. I loved it. Blah blah blah. Yes, I was like, cool, awesome, thanks, dude. Howie was like, I loved it. It was great. Blah, blah, blah. Yes. And I was like, cool. Heidi Klum's like, no, fuck no. I'm like, cool. Here comes the final note. I'm going home. And then Mel B's like, I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move you forward. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah. Oh, my God. What the fuck? Like, I walk backstage and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do now?
Yeah.
I did a round 2 with mousetraps, which I hate doing mousetraps on stage just because it doesn't look great. It's a live act, not a TV act, So I didn't do well. And then they had Pierce Morgan rip me apart, which was funny. And then, but from there, like Eric Moneypenny, who worked with Fox ADHD, and he does a lot of stuff. He kind of helps run the Pack Theater. He was like, that was hilarious, man. He's like, I just started a show called Speedface. Do you want to come do that? I was like, yeah. He's like, you can do the thumbtack act if you're down. I'm like, sure. I don't care about my body.
Yeah.
And then, so I went and did it, and it went off well. And then since that October, I've only missed 1 show, but for an entire year, I close out that Speedface show at the Pack Theater. I'm doing something fucking stupid, and like, I staple gunned a suit to myself recently. God. I did shock collar stuff, and I got a stupid one planned for Christmas. It's gonna hurt me, but so I've been practicing. It's like doing like stand up at a club. Like I'm honing my craft. It's something that I'm gonna keep doing while my body will allow me to. Right now, I mean, luckily I heal really fast, and it's not a problem to me at all. So I don't mind doing it. I assume one day it might.
Yeah.
But I have a strict like no painkiller rule. Like no Tylenol, no nothing. For anything. So
isn't that like a big epidemic in the wrestling world?
Yeah. A lot of the people that I idolized got hooked on painkillers, and it just destroyed their lives. And so I was like, if I need painkillers to do it again or to get through then I need to stop.
Yeah. So how does it work with the painkiller thing? It's not like they don't take it after the fact. Do they take it during it or?
Like before the so like this dude who I fucking loved in the ECW, like big time dude. He was like he needed painkillers.
Because it gets that bad doing that many bumps, right?
Yeah. And he does crazy shit in the ring. Yeah. So, like, he needed just, like, a steady flow of painkillers. Like, he would have to be carried otherwise. And, like, we all went into Denny's that night, and, like, he passed out into his salad. And, like, they were just like, well, yeah, he does that.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, ooh, I don't want that for a living. Like,
well, I mean, like, there's the films The Wrestler, which is amazing.
Super legit. Like,
and then, what was the one with, like, Mick Foley and Jake the Snake? The Beyond the Mat? Fuck, it's so heavy. But good. I mean, it's good, but it's like, it's...
Like, wrestling's amazing. I love everything that I've done in it, and I love watching it, and I think it's great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a reason wrestlers die at 60 and 70, like, it's...
So doing all this like stunt work and wrestling work, what's like? I mean, these are like standard questions, but like, what's like the worst injury or like gnarliest bump you've done?
Sabu dislocated my jaw.
What? Nah. Fuck. How does that happen? How did that happen?
He just punched me really fucking hard.
Is Sabu, who's the one that has like the gnarly gash in the forehead?
There's a couple of them. There's New Jack. There's Abdullah the Butcher.
Abdullah the Butcher. He's the one who put a quarter in his forehead.
Yeah, he stabbed me in the head with a fork once and then threw me down a flight of stairs and then beat me really badly with a trash can.
How does that... I mean, you guys, like, it's wrestling. It's a show. You guys agree before, like, hey, we're going to do this. And, like... Or how does this shit... I mean, how does this shit work?
Honestly, it depends on the match.
Yeah.
I've done matches where you don't get to talk to the guy until you're about to walk out and you're like, all right, here's the finish. We're doing this, and I'm going to hit you with this finisher, and it's over. You know, like sometimes it's just that, and you're like, go out there and call it in the ring and, like, kind of work it out and just, like, hope it looks good.
Yeah.
Some people can do that. Some people can go out and put on just world-class, amazing matches without talking over shit. Just because they're super skilled. But some people, like, I know that want to discuss every single moment and every hit and everything. Especially comedy like when I do comedy matches at Freak Show Wrestling. Whenever I do comedy matches there, I like to talk everything over so that we're hitting every comedic moment and milking it for as much as we can. But then there's some matches where, like the Abdullah thing, I was working security for that match. It was when I was still in training. And him and Sabu were, like, fighting on the stage, and then their manager's like, separate them right now. And they're up on this big-ass stage, you know, with, like, concrete floor. And so I ran over and I grabbed Abdullah, and the only thing he ever said to me the entire time was, like, brace yourself. And then ran and hip-tossed me off the stage, and I went flying, like, hit concrete. And, like, the ref comes over, he's like, holy fuck, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, don't get up anymore. I'm like, you don't gotta tell me that.
That's great. Damn.
I'm done for the night.
That's cool, Sal. And then, like, before we switch over, I've heard you, like, say this before where you think you're, like, invulnerable to pain or whatever. I mean, do you have a high pain tolerance or something?
I do. I mean, like, I don't feel... Like when I do the thumbtacks thing or when I staple gun myself, I don't really feel it.
Yeah.
I don't... It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I know that I've got a limit. Like, I mean, there's certain things I won't do just because I don't want to cripple myself.
You had Taco Bell earlier. You won't do spicy.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Is my exterior, I could take so much damage and keep going, no problem. So far, I haven't seen anything that's really cut me down. Or
So moving away from the physical world, we are now in this new frontier of video gaming. We have PlayStation VR, Oculus, HTC Vive, virtual reality. Leroy, you have the HTC Vive. How long ago did you get it?
I got it. It was part of I ordered it within 8 minutes of it coming out. So I received it like mid-April. Yeah, so all this stuff just came out this year after like stuff has been like being beta tested. I mean, there's early versions. You have the Virtual Boy up there. You know, in the 90s there was always like gimmicky virtual reality things, but it's like we're here now through PC, through PlayStation. Man, I mean, you're all in. You got the Vive and everything. What do you think? Yeah. So I as a kid, I wanted virtual reality so bad. There was this the nice arcade that we had, you know, at the mall.
Yep.
Had this thing called Pterodactyl Nightmare. It was like $5 for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And you stand in this giant pod, put the headset on, you had the hand controller, and it was virtual reality back in '92. Like it was amazing. It was super like polygon, you know, like boxy shit, but it was awesome. And then like you're shooting at another person, and then a pterodactyl comes and kills you. And so it was super neat, super basic, but super neat. And I was like, I cannot wait until like a year later when I can do this at home.
Yeah.
And then and then you see shit. You see shit like it was '92. You see shit like the movie Hackers, where you know, he's fucking doing a sword fight in VR, and you're like, wait, is that out?
Yeah.
I want that. Like, fuck.
Well, also in Blank Check.
Yeah.
Do you guys this giant virtual reality toy?
It's like they keep fucking teasing me, and then Virtual Boy's coming out. I'm like, fuck yeah, got it. And I'm like, oh, well, this is stupid. Like, god damn it, just waiting for it to happen, and then I'd kind of given up hope for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever. I like video games. I'll just play normal video games. That's fine. It's doom to normal games.
And then 2 decades later.
Yeah, and then they're doing a giveaway for Google Cardboard for the Star Wars ones, which I have like 2 of them up there. And I was like, oh, cool. You know, like I've heard neat things. It's supposed to be kind of like virtual reality. That's neat. I'll try it someday. And they sat on my desk for like a month. And then I was like rendering a project out, just like, oh, all right, let's fuck it, let's try it out. And then I put on the Insidious, like it's just like a quick little short experience. But I was like, oh, holy shit, virtual reality is real. And like my wife was in the bathroom. I ran over, started kicking at the door. I'm like, get out, I gotta show you this. And then she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And, ooh, this is pretty cool. And then so I was hooked, and I was like, thank God, it's fine, it's gonna be here. And then they released this video of this Disney artist who we talked about off camera.
The painting thing.
Yeah, and he painted Ariel from The Little Mermaid and did it in VR using Tilt Brush, and I almost cried because it was just like that. I want that. Why isn't this in my home yet?
Yeah.
And then I heard that they were doing the pre-orders for him in like February. It was October. We were on like a mini honeymoon. Or something. We had some anniversary thing, and I woke up at 6 a.m. on my phone trying to order the fucking thing. I get the Vive. It takes me 3 hours to set it up, and then I'm in heaven. And from that moment until like probably 3 weeks ago, I didn't touch a console game.
Holy crap!
Because I was just like, who cares? That 2D garbage.
Yeah.
You know, like I need this. I need to be in the fucking game.
So the one thing, Vive is awesome. I tried it, Leroy. We did like 2 hours of demos. Vive is really cool. I don't have it yet because I need space for it. You need a full room.
This room was gonna be an arcade. I have like 6 arcade machines in storage, and I was gonna put them in here, or when we move to the next place, have an arcade. I don't know if I'm going to have an arcade anymore because I want a big dedicated VR room.
Yeah.
Like, this is just barely enough. Like, I feel I feel like I'm just barely there with what I got here.
If you have, so like, does it scale the game or does it scale your environment?
Some games.
Okay, that's cool.
Some games totally scale. Others are just like, yo, get another foot of room. Deal with it. You know,
Wow,
you know, but there's decent warnings that let you know if your game
the cool thing with the Vive, which I wasn't sure about, PSVR doesn't have this, and I kind of wish they would let you do this, but with the Vive, as if you're playing, if you get like you set up these cameras, and when you get to the edge of a wall that you designate, you'll see like red lines.
Yeah, you can change the color too.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know,
it doesn't like shatter the illusion. It's really subtle, and if you get closer, they get brighter. You know, and so you can know. Also, the controllers are pretty like PSVR has this too, where if you like bump into something, the controllers are soft enough where it's like you're not gonna scratch anything.
Yeah. Well, one time though.
Yeah.
I have a broken controller over there because I'm playing Gnomes and Goblins, which is like directed by Jon Favreau. It's this crazy experience, and it was the very first time. Like I've been immersed and I felt like I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I forgot I was in a room, and so like I'm sitting in this magical forest and it's like nighttime and there's these like Keebler Elf style trees with houses in them and like I see an acorn on the floor and this little guy is like like super scared, like hiding behind a rock, and I'm like, oh shit, and like grab an acorn, roll it over to him, and he watches it go by, he's like, and like grabs it and runs and takes it up to, I'm like, oh my god, I'm in a magical world, this is amazing. And then I hear someone like struggling up above me, and I look up, and probably like 2 feet up, there's a gnome like reaching for an apple. He's like, I can't get, and I'm like, oh, what's that? I was like, that's only like 2 feet high. I could jump and get that. Yeah. So I jumped as high as I could and punched my ceiling with the controller, broke it in half.
Damn.
And like immediately realized what a fucking idiot I was. And I was just like, no. Like pull off the headset and it's like snapped. I'm like,
how much was it to replace it?
$125.
Oh, damn. First casualty of VR.
Yeah.
What have been some of your favorite Vive games?
My all-time favorite is Raw Data.
Raw Data? Yeah. So Leroy showed me this Raw Data. It's, I mean, I guess you'd call it like a shooter. What's like the term for these wave-based shooting
wave-based shooter. Yeah.
Whatever. It's you're in like it's fucking some very like Matrix shit. You're in like a robot facility. You're shooting things coming at you. But do you want to explain it? You're the super fan. You have 10 hours played on this so far.
I think I have more than that.
Maybe.
But yeah, like you're stealing data from this company, so they send tons of different types of robots your way, and you know there's different characters, heroes you can be. There's like a gun kata dude who's straight out of Equilibrium and stuff. And you got the dual reloads and just.
It is pretty rad, just going like this.
There's the ninja dude who can like throw his sword and like use the force and like slow down time and jump in the air and like hit the ground and size.
And the production value, graphics, and like it looks and sounds great. Like it's like a lot of VR stuff I've tried so far. It's pretty gimmicky or like just small, but this one's like a full-fledged. Like, oh, this is like really well done.
I really like it's called like Zombie Survival Trainer or something like that, but it's kind of cutesy. It's all the zombies are made out of like cardboard or like press board. Yeah. So when you shoot them, they splinter and like cool. Disintegrate and stuff. But like it's very creative with your surroundings because you've got like stacks of meat. So you grab the meat, and you like run after it, then you just peg them in the head, or like you could grab a canister of propane, throw it in the air, and then shoot it and decimate a whole bunch of people, and they just like send massive armies of zombies at you, and you've got like machine guns and swords and like. So that one's great. I'm really hoping for a good superhero simulator.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, because you're a huge Marvel guy.
Yeah, there's some that are close. There's Richie's Plank Experience, which is like at one level you're flying around a city with like Iron Man style, and you can put out fires and stuff. So that's kind of neat. So I want a good like where I'm a superhero swinging through a city, grabbing cars, throwing them at people, fighting supervillains, that kind of thing.
One thing I really want, like with PSVR, they did like a remake of Rez. I want like companies to remake some of their older games, but in VR. I think the most obvious example would be a Virtua Cop. Yeah. Just there you go. I want like House of the Dead or Virtua Cop, just any of these old. Because part of the joy I loved going to the arcade was like you're running around an arcade all night, spending 10 minutes each on a game. Yeah. Oh, try Virtua Cop for 10 minutes. You walk over to this giant machine, pick up the gun, shoot. Well, now with VR is like, but like you said, it's replaced arcades. Yeah. Here you are, you play this silly game for 10 minutes. Oh, that was fun. Try something else. You spend like a whole session trying a bunch of different games. Yeah. And so I want like more remakes of like
there's that arcade game Police 911.
Yeah,
where tracks where you're going like that was like the starts of like VR.
Police Academy or whatever, the police trainer where you're shooting. Those are fun.
That was fun too.
On Area 51, shoot aliens.
Like you do.
One game you showed me I loved. It's from the people who did Audio Surf. It's Audio Shield.
Yeah.
It's I love it because one of my favorite dance B-Mania games. There's a game called Dance Maniacs. And so what it is like
WrestleManiacs? Yeah. I see a pattern.
There's four light panels on Dance Maniacs. They're in the middle, and if you put your arms either above it or below it, so you play the game like this.
Doing the Hitler salute.
Yeah. I love this game. Audio Shield, you got your two little controls, and you have to you have to basically hit these different colored orbs. But the way you dance and play is the exact same motion, but like audio surf, you can put in your own MP3s, or you can search. The game has a built-in YouTube browser, so you can just search songs. I love it. I hope
so much fun.
And with that game, it's like 180 degrees, so you don't necessarily need a giant room to play it. But I hope that comes to PSVR or I guess Oculus, whatever. I do want that game. I was playing Perfume and some other songs. I love it. I love that game so much.
You can play it again after no.
I think I will. I really like Audio Shield. I was excited. I got to play Justin Roiland's
accountant.
Yeah. So the guy who made Rick and Morty. Justin Roiland teamed up with the guy who did Stanley Parable to make this game called Accounting, and it's very much like a Rick and Morty episode. Just very the characters. I mean, it's Justin Roiland doing most of the voices. Rick and Morty, if you haven't seen the show, is excellent. But the game just felt like an episode. But just like Stanley Parable, it's like making fun of VR. Yeah. The premise of the game is you're an accountant and you put on a VR headset and you go inside another VR, and then inside that virtual reality you put on another headset. You're just going deeper and deeper and deeper. It gets super silly. It's like a 20-minute game, but I think that's like the good path for VR games are these like little stories. Yeah. Because
there's one called Hover Junkers. Fucking awesome. Like you're in a makeshift hovercraft.
Yeah.
So it'd be like a fucked up school bus that, but you grab stuff to like build shields along the side of it, and then you're flying around shooting. You could have someone else in your hovercraft too, and you're flying against other people who are in their own hovercrafts. And you're shooting at them and like using shotguns, and you have to like kind of realistically reload. Yeah. So you like duck down, reload, pop back up, and like you're like it's like paintball, but flying around.
How many VR games did you say you have? 200?
213 or something.
Yeah, have you played all of them yet or no?
Most of them.
Holy shit! That's
Not all of them.
That's a lot of different realities.
Because I'll be at work.
Yeah.
Just like here's a GIF. Here's a GIF. Yep. Any new games? Ooh, that looks fun. Buy.
Yeah.
Here's a GIF. And then like eventually I'll try them out.
Well, that's how I operate. Is like I have email alerts set up for like Humble Bundles, my Steam wish list. Yeah. And and so like you buy all these PC games on Steam for like $2 each.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. With VR, like most of them are under $5. Yeah. Or like under $10.
Yeah, and they go on sale.
And then the really really good ones are like around like 20 or 30. Like I want to get it. I'm waiting next paycheck. But Serious Sam just released.
Holy shit!
And I want to play it so bad. It looks amazing, but I've had to wait because I've had like I bought the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, so with PlayStation VR, so the thing that was neat, I've had PSVR now since it came out, so I played it a few weeks. I did the Batman demo, or it's a game, but it's basically a demo. I did the Batman thing. That was cool, just being in this Gotham City with the sound design
looking
graphics.
in the mirror as Batman. I was like, what motherfucker?
Yeah, doing the dances.
Yeah, it was so neat.
The craziest experience so far with PSVR is like the opening scene of Batman VR is you are Bruce Wayne as a child. So you are super low and you see your parents getting shot, And it's like startling. It is fucking crazy. And then it cuts to you with Alfred playing a piano.
I played that this morning. I was just like, shot my parents, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But it's the way they play with height is really cool. With PSVR though, after about 30 minutes, I get nauseous. I can't even handle like 3D movies or even 3DS with 3D on. I think like one of my eyes are slightly off center. I don't know. Whatever.
Fix it for you.
I just can't handle like 3D that well. So after 30 minutes playing PSVR, I get a little sick. I need to either close my eyes, take it off, sit down for a bit. I was playing Vive for like an hour and a half, 100% fine. So I think it is... The Vive, you have a good gaming computer. It is a little bit more powerful. The frame rate's more steady. Being able to actually walk around and control your movement is fine. With PSVR, I've noticed like the 3 times I've gotten sick. The worst time I got sick, I was playing Until Dawn. It's this like roller coaster haunted house type thing. It's cool. It's fun. Awesome. It's shooting gallery. But you're on a roller coaster. And so here I am sitting in this chair. All of a sudden, you go down this roller coaster really fast. It felt like my stomach was moving, but my head was standing. So it felt like I was getting pulled. And I took it off. I had to lie down for a little bit. Vive is okay, though. But those 30 minutes I play at a time are still fun. I do like it.
I also didn't throw you into any of the, like, really, like, heavy fuck with you games.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can... I think
Windlands is amazing. It's almost Spider-Man Simulator. You're swinging around through trees and stuff.
I think I need to build up my tolerance. Yeah. I tried Drive Club, the PSVR demo disc, and like one of my anxieties is like just dealing with... we live in LA, so like traffic sucks, anything with driving is a hassle. But in PSVR, I'm sick of all these stupid names. PSVR, Drive Club VR, whatever. In Drive Club VR for PSVR... The weirdest sensation I had was when I was driving, it's first person, you can look around the cockpit or whatever you want to call it, look around the car. Yeah. I'm going around a turn and I rear end the other racer and like the sound design was so startling, it felt like I got into a car accident.
Get out, like, all right, here's my insurance.
But I was okay, and then I kept doing it to like combat that fear. that was weird. But yeah, I'm excited for like story-based games like the Squanch Tendo's Accounting, that was cool. The Audio Shield, I want the dance games. Yeah. So I think I will get whatever Harmonix is doing. I just like that, because putting on headphones, you're 100% in it.
Yeah, I've had a heart attack because my wife grabbed me while I'm playing a game. Yeah. And I'm gonna be 20 minutes.
What else have you tried with PSVR? Anything you like particularly?
I just got it like on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So just a couple days ago. But yeah, I played Batman this morning. It was a lot of fun so far. I'm waiting to like use the batarangs. I'm like, when the fuck do I get to use these things?
It's cool. Yeah, it's just fun.
Fuck you. But London Heist.
Oh, I need to try that.
My god, London Heist. That's what caused me to buy it.
It looks so goofy. I mean, in a good way. Though.
But I mean, just the opening scene. You're like in a pub, and like you're sitting in a booth, and this guy comes up and he's telling you the details of the plan and shit. But you've got a cigar and a lighter, and you're just like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah.
And the smoke comes out. You're like, oh, and then he's trying to talk to me. I'm not listening. I'm like, ooh. It's like just being a
I just like playing with the
throwing a cigar at him and stuff. But like there was a level where you're in a car and the guy's driving and he's like, hey, check the glove box, you're gonna need something in there. And like you open it up, you're like, oh cool, good. Yeah. Ooh, there's some ammo. And then like 2 guys come up with machine guns on motorbikes, you're like, blam, one of them goes flying, like hits the windshield, you're like, oh my god. Break the windshield out and you're just gun battle. Like I want that realistic craziness, As much as I love the crazy fantasy stuff and the over-the-top Justin Roiland stuff, love it, but I want that realistic gritty. Like there's a horror game called Hordes where you're slowly walking through these really fucked up places, like an abandoned mental hospital and stuff, fighting zombies and ghouls and
that'd be cool.
Shit. And but like you're scared, but you feel like you're a badass enough to handle it. Whereas you play something like Emily Wants to Play or Sisters, where you've got nothing, and there's these demented little dolls and shit coming at you, and you're like, I don't know about this. I just got one called Bloody Mary, where you're in a bathroom and you say Bloody Mary 3 times, and then and it's like an escape room. You've got to escape before she comes through the mirror, kind of thing. And like just horror games on the Vive.
It's gonna be
VR
it's gonna be interesting how they fuck with the Vive. How they fuck with virtual reality to really do stuff. Mm-hmm. Batman has a section like that, and it's just like it's kind of startling.
Yeah.
We'll see who does it successfully. I'm excited for Resident Evil for PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Just any I'm excited for whatever AAA stuff comes out in the future.
Evil, I mean, not just AAA. I mean, I've played so many weird indie games on Steam that, like, I'm like, this is awesome. Like, that's the neat thing about VR is that if it was just a normal console game or a normal, controller game, It's like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But because you're there in VR doing it, there's this one game that like came out where everyone was like, what the fuck are you doing? There's this guy that's like, you have a big pizza, like, flipper paddle thing.
Flip pizza?
And you're like, well, you're throwing beach balls for some reason. And it's the most basic thing ever. And people are like, why the fuck would you make this? He's like, please just play it. And then you play it, you're like, oh, it's kind of neat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, and like, yeah, there's just so many cool experiences that you lose yourself in. And I remember the first, it took me 3 days before I fully got like immersed. Because I was digging it, I'm having a great time, I'm feeling it, it's fun. And then like, and then during that zombie trainer one, I was just like, I'm reaching for stuff and like, I feel, and then I like realized like, fuck, I'm in a game, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, oh, I get it now. Holy shit.
It's weird when you finally take off the headset. It's like, oh, because your line of sight gets totally, you forget exactly where you are.
I always make it a game as to like what direction I'm staring in.
Yeah, you lose it because you put the headphones.
And you're like, oh, I'm back here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I do like it. I did try cinema mode on the PSVR. I was really excited for it. I tried cinema mode. It's okay. The thing that kind of sucks is the at least the PSVR, the resolution of it isn't like full HD.
Yeah.
It's like, so I watched a Game of Thrones episode on it. Like, it's kind of neat, but like, it's not like 100%. Like,
what's neat is I bought a Gear 360 camera.
Yeah. And
when we went to Italy, like I recorded a ton of VR footage, and then so I'm able to watch it and like be back in Italy and stuff, and it's kind of neat. It's not 100% perfect yet, but it's getting there, and it's so exciting and so much fun. Yeah.
So I'm excited to still see what they come out with it, what they do with it. But I'm glad like we got it and it doesn't suck.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. There's been a couple things where I'm like, I can't wait for this to come out, and it comes out and you're like, this is stupid. And that's the thing is people got to have the right VR experience when they start, or else they're gonna think it's a gimmick or stupid. Yep. You know, you can't throw someone immediately into like something like Windlands or you know, Until Dawn, just because it's too shocking.
So overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I usually start people off kind of light and then like hit them with hard shit.
Well, even the first VR experience I had was at E3 this year, completely different. But the first was like a VR meditation simulator. So you're just in like a bonsai forest on a mountain. And it's like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then the next thing was Naughty America had a VR porn booth.
Oh, yeah.
But then I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, VR porn's neat. Like, I've been a black guy now.
Oh, wow.
I've been a girl with
So those are my first two experiences. And then I tried Batman. And it's like, okay, from porn to Batman, from Batman to Drive, so you gotta keep stepping it up.
Yeah. Just like real life. Sometimes you're in porn, sometimes you're in
you gotta keep stepping it up.
I did find why am I saying it? It's a VR video where you're Batman having sex with Catwoman. It's kind of fun.
Is this real? There's a VR porn?
No, it's Harley Quinn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
I did find out there is a way to get porn working on PSVR.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, you have to download videos, put them on a thumb drive, and then, so it is compatible.
That's too much work.
Yeah, so it is compatible. If you're on the fence with PSVR, I'm just letting you know, it is compatible. Make
the plunge.
Outside of PlayStation VR, have you been playing anything?
Dead by Daylight. I play a lot.
That's you can play as Michael Myers in that?
Yeah, Michael Myers, and then they have like 4 other original characters, like a dude with bear traps, but it's like a slasher movie simulator.
Dude with bear traps is my favorite horror movie character.
Yeah, you kidding? The 7th one in that series was fucking awesome.
Dude with bear traps 7.
Dude with bear trap 7. This time he's got 2 bear traps. But like, no, that one's a lot of fun. What else have I been playing? Yesterday I just started playing this game called Mr. President, where you're saving Donald Trump from the sniper's bullet.
Is it a Steam game? It's Flash
a Steam game?
Okay.
It was like $2 or something I got. But because it's really hard, you watch Donald Trump get shot like 100 times each level. It's kind of funny. And then some of just the absurd, crazy levels. It's kind of a physics based, like you got to run over and then jump at the right moment.
Okay, that's cool. Did you ever play JFK Reloaded?
No.
Such a stupid. It's like on the same level like Columbine game. It was an early 2000s PC game. JFK Reloaded. It's you're like on the grassy knoll or wherever you're on the building. You have to basically recreate the magic bullet shot. And like you fire JFK and it's like it judges like how accurate was it to the real shot.
Oh wow.
There you go.
It's educational.
Yeah. But like I can't tell if it is like conspiracy slants or not. But there you go. JFK Reloaded.
Pick it up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What have I been playing recently? I'm gonna have a bunch of free time soon. Finally, my summer is basically about to start. But I'm still playing The Witcher 3 after like a full year. It's such a long ass game. but I'm ready to like sit down and chip through it. Dragon Quest Builders. Have you played a Dragon Quest game before?
No.
So it's like Final Fantasy, very cutesy. They're RPGs, but they're now they're coming out with like offshoots. So last year they did Dragon Quest Warriors, which I loved, which is like a Dynasty Warriors super mass beat 'em up. I love that game, platinumed it. This year they have Dragon Quest Builders. They've taken Minecraft but put Dragon Quest in it.
Shit.
But it's like Minecraft, so you're building stuff, but there's like a quest system in the game.
Oh, okay.
So the whole point of Dragon Quest Builders is like it's a typical RPG story. There's some force that's like, taking over the world, evil's in the world.
Yeah.
No one knows how to build anything anymore. But you are the one savior. You are the one person who knows how to build items. So like these villagers come to you, oh please build me a town, or build me a room, build me a bed.
Yeah.
So you have quests from villagers like, I would love to have like a bakery. Do you know how to build an oven? And so you have to go find. So it's like you are doing these quests.
That sounds fun.
So it's like Minecraft, but you have structure. So you have quests to do, and you don't level up, but you get more HP. So there is some progression. The thing with Minecraft or any of these like builder games, they're fun, but it's like, I don't feel like I'm achieving anything.
Yeah, I tried playing Minecraft and I just couldn't get into it. I was just like, yeah. And then I played it in VR. I'm like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
it is calming, but at least with Dragon Quest Builders, you're always working towards something.
Yeah.
And so there's 4 different like chapters. So once you beat a chapter, it's like, all right, time to go to the next world, and you go and you start all over again.
That's cool.
But yeah, you're progressing. It's really, really cute. I think there are a few Black Friday deals if you want to get it for $40. But pay for it full price. Support Square. Did you have a good time working at Square?
Yeah, they were pretty good to me.
Okay, there you go.
Pretty good. I heard it got worse after I left. But
I recommend Dragon Quest Builders. What else have I been playing? I just got Shadow Warrior 2 on PC. It's like another loot-based, like a loot shooter, like Diablo or Borderlands.
Oh, nice.
So many games, but I'm gonna play them and I'll let you know how they go. Mm-hmm. Without further ado, we will get to emails. Emails. We got one from Tom Gosby. He sends a lot of emails in. Mop Boy. He asks, "What's your favorite game that you bought without knowing anything about?" He said his is either Phoenix Wright or Half Minute Hero. But yeah, games that you bought on a whim. I dropped my phone. Do you have any that you can think of?
Usually stuff I buy on a whim, I hate. Like I will never forgive Simpsons Wrestling.
I heard that's like one of the worst games of all time.
Simpsons was one of my favorite things at the time. Loved wrestling. Put them together. Peanut butter and chocolate. It's going to be great. And yeah, I took it back the next day and I was like, this is terrible. And they're like, we know. And they gave me a refund. I was like, oh, okay, not bad.
I bought Metal Gear Solid on a whim. Mm-hmm. Like when it just came out when I was like 8 or 9. And it was so weird back then because it wasn't until like PS2 era did you kind of, for me, because I was younger, did I really start being like, oh, this game has good reviews. Okay, maybe I'll get this, or word of mouth. Before then, my parents would just go to the game store. They'd buy me a game. I didn't know. If the cover looked cool. Yeah. But so I got Metal Gear Solid, and then it's so weird. I mean, that game revolutionized video games. But it's like you're playing it, and it's like, whoa, what? Like here's the story. It's so serious, so adult. And so that was on a whim. That blew me away and surprised me.
I played that on a demo disc, and I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like went out and bought it.
But no pleasant surprises.
Sneaking.
Oh yeah.
Sneaking.
That was to be real though, Pocket Bike Racer, my friends and I actually played.
It's not bad.
We didn't expect that to be fun, but that's a fun multiplayer game. Kevin Alvarez, his email is basically what we just talked about. PSVR, is it worth the money? Would you recommend it to other people, or should you save your money and wait till VR updates come out? So definitively, I say if you have don't spend your don't spend food money on it.
No.
I mean if you have I bought PSVR with the expectation I want a fun goofy toy. Hell yeah, I love Sony. I'm going in. I don't play it that much. I play it a little bit. I haven't so. But I mean, you're basically buying a new system. There's gonna be games coming down for years.
Yeah.
If you're on the fence about it, try it. Just go to a friend's house, try it. If you're but if you're not 100%, then you can wait. But if you have the money, it's a cool toy. But buy it knowing it's a toy. You're not gonna sit for 12 hours.
It's definitely It's great. I got it just because of all the exclusive stuff that's coming out for it. And as much as I love the Vive, there are a lot of games that are early access and a lot of stuff like that. There's a ton of worthy, full, awesome, AAA kind of stuff on it. But a lot of the stuff is still in the works. Yeah. Whereas if I'm buying a PSVR thing, I know that it's
it's done.
Some kind of done, finished product.
I'm hoping eventually with PS Plus they will start giving you free VR games.
That'd be neat. Well, there's one in there I tried this morning. It's called the Playroom, Playroom VR.
Oh yeah.
And there's a game where you're playing against other people with controllers. They're running away from you as you're this giant monster headbutting buildings and shit. It was the coolest thing. I was like, fuck, this is great. So yeah, if you don't have access to a computer or enough room for the Vive, PlayStation VR isn't a bad option. Like it's great. It's good VR. I'm digging it so far. I haven't had a ton of time with it, but I'm really liking it.
Yeah, and like with me, like I haven't spent too much time with the PSVR, but again, I had money saved up for it. It's a toy. I like it.
Especially if you've already got the PlayStation, it's the cheaper option.
Yeah.
And apparently it's much better with the PlayStation Pro. Like I have the PlayStation Pro, so that's all I know.
Yeah, I need to try the PS Pro now.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's.
But it doesn't, like we said, it doesn't suck.
It's worth the money.
I would say try it out.
It's not your last money.
So yeah, if you got a lot of, it's worth it if you got extra
cheddar.
Victor S. Cardone sounds like a Sopranos character. He asks,
a lot of cocaine.
What are some of your favorite seasonal events or items in video games? For me, I play like a lot of World of Warcraft, or I used to. I always liked when they had Halloween, because then they would give characters wands that you could like click on someone, zap them, turn them into a pirate for the day, or turn them into an orc. I just like, I like cosmetics in video games. Dead or Alive Extreme 5 or whatever. Not Extreme, that's the sexy volleyball one. Dead or Alive 5, they put out a bunch of free Christmas DLC, so all the guys dress up as Santa, all the girls dress up as elves. That stuff is really cute. Final Fantasy 14, the MMO, every summer they give like new bikinis and like bathing suits for, so you can dress your cat girls up all cute. Any seasonal items or like Halloween type things in video games that you can think of?
Can't think of any. If I had time to think about it, I'm sure I come up with a nice little list. But for Halloween on Dead by Daylight, they just had like cool new like skins where your character's eyes glow. And it makes it even more fucked up and scary and stuff. So that was kind of neat.
Extra scary. Has Stone Cold Steve Austin ever dressed up as Santa Claus?
Yeah.
All right, let's put that. That's
not in the game.
Oh,
that's crazy talk.
No, but hey, in real life, that's even cooler. That's like not virtual. That's mixed reality.
That's my Santa.
Hey. Wrestling, is it real or not? That's mixed reality. That's virtual reality.
Think about it. It's like Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah. Is it real? Is it not? Thank you for watching Neighborhood Game Club. We learned a lot about wrestling, stunts. I can't do any stunts. I can, like, ride a skateboard. Does that count? Oh, shit. Let's what are we getting? This is barbed wire? No.
Yay!
Oh, fuck.
Yay!
You want to show us off? There you go. We just earned our parental warning.
Ask your parents, guys.
You can't even find it on your arm. Where is it?